Bilik satunya dihapus, sis.
Tes, selamat malam waktu Indonesia.
Malam. Selamat malam.
Selamat malam, Kak Yolan.
Makasih ya udah mau bergabung dalam acara kami. Ada Vember, ada Saraswati Devi. Panggilannya apa? Saraswati Devi.
Saras aja.
Ya. Datang Saras, terima kasih udah dengan kami. Ada Vember juga. Makasih ya udah gabung dalam acara kami. Terus ada Nabila. Halo Nabila.
Halo Ibu.
Malam, makasih ya udah mau bergabung dalam acara kami.
Makasih juga Ibu kesempatannya.
Terus ini untuk speaker kami sedang menunggu speaker lain yang akan masuk dalam waiting room. Di sana mau jam 8 ya. Makasih ya udah mau malam-malam gabung dalam acara kami.
Iya, Kak.
Salam kenal, saya Yolanda dari Fungsi Pensosbud KBRI Panama City. Oh ya, untuk presentasinya, untuk yang PPT, kalian mau dibantu untuk untuk operatornya atau mau jadi operator sendiri?
Kalau saya sih mungkin operate sendiri juga nggak apa-apa sih, Bu. Aku mungkin lebih nyaman operate sendiri.
Oke, siap. Senyamannya kalian aja. Untuk Saras
Oke.
gimana?
Operate sendiri juga boleh.
Oke.
Operate sendiri.
Kalau Ember gimana?
Iya, Kak, operate sendiri lebih enak.
Oke, sip. Tes. Halo Mas Probo.
Sorry Mbak, ini masih di jalan, bentar lagi langsung di device.
Oke, sip.
Ya.
Masih Mas.
Udah siap ini teman-teman, baik dari Indonesia maupun dari... Oke. Pak Dubes sudah bergabung, Pak?
Belum. Jadi kita maksudnya ini yang khusus untuk
Belum ya?
bersama moderator dulu kita briefing sebentar, nanti baru itu kita open admit semuanya.
Oh gitu, oke. Hello everyone, nice to meet you.
Hello.
Nice to meet you too.
Nice to meet you too.
It is very sunny day in Indonesia. How about in Panama?
Panama, it's a little bit rain. Yeah, sometimes hot. So it's almost same like.
Indonesia in rainy day sometimes, but we are very happy because in Indonesian culture, rain means prosperity. Halo, salam kenal teman-teman dari Esa Unggul, dari mana aja Mbak? Esa Unggul, UNER, terus satu lagi itu dari mana? Oh iya.
Halo Mas Probo.
Ya, Mbak.
Udah siap belum? Maksudnya udah settle di tempat yang nyaman.
Masih kira-kira 5 menit lagi Mbak, tapi nggak apa-apa kalau mau di briefing
sambil jalan ya. Jadi untuk nanti
boleh.
Habis kita memperkenalkan speaker, nanti langsung speaker dan moderator langsung diambil alih oleh moderator.
Oke, gitu. Siap, Mbak. Iya.
Jadi nanti
saya sudah pelajari rundown-nya.
Iya, rundown. Jadi ya seperti itu, nanti langsung loop-nya cepat aja Mas, karena kan waktunya cuma 5 menit per speaker, jadi ya kita langsung cepat aja gitu.
Ya, nanti saya menangkap jadi timekeeper juga, Mbak.
Sama nanti kan ada si discussion ya Mas Probo.
Iya.
Nanti tuh ada kayak analyzer itu semacam kayak kelompok yang menanggapi dari speaker-speaker tersebut. Jadi selain diskusi dari para speaker juga ada group of analyzer yang yang juga ingin mungkin ada ada gagasan atau opini mereka terkait diskusi ini. Jadi nanti mungkin yang akan berbicara nanti mungkin bisa diarahkan untuk raise hand.
Jadi kayak semacam panelis gitu ya Mbak ya, yang akan bertanya-tanya.
Betul.
Kalau gitu bisa disarankan sudah menyiapkan pertanyaan mungkin dari awal gitu akan lebih bagus ya,
Mm-mm.
karena waktunya singkat. Ya, ya.
Jadi
Berarti
nanti
boleh diperkenankan ya untuk misalkan
boleh
5 menit ya kita bilang aja kalau waktunya habis gitu ya.
betul.
Oke.
Atau diingatkan mungkin kalau misalnya apa namanya kurang sedikit diingatkan. Ah,
Oke. Misalkan you have 1 minute left gitu ya.
Mm.
Oke. Ya, oke, oke. Siap Mbak, matoh.
Sip, sip. Mantul. Jadi ini aku udah mulai apa namanya udah oke ya. Jadi aku admit semua. Jadi yang mau apa namanya yang masuk Zoom aku admit.
Oke Mbak. Hello everyone, nice to meet you.
Good morning from Panama. Good evening.
Hello, good morning, Professor.
Good morning and good evening from Indonesia.
Good morning, Prof.
Good morning. Good morning. I think our students from Panama are already here. Raul and Eric, I think so.
Good morning and good evening.
Hello, good morning, Raul. I see from Panama. Also, Mayra already here. Hello, good morning, Mayra.
Good morning to everyone.
And I also see Abdil here. Hey, Abdil, how are you?
Saya baik, terima kasih. Apa kabar?
Kabar baik.
Selamat pagi, Profesor Solis. Apa kabar?
Baik, baik.
Selamat senang to see you. How are you?
Fine, fine. Good to see you, Mr. Ambassador from Indonesia.
Yeah, my friend. How about situation in Citre? Everything is good?
Oh, well, we are isolated now. We can't move to the places we want to go.
Oh,
but
yeah?
hopefully it will finish soon.
Oh, okay, good.
Inshallah, inshallah.
Inshallah, good.
Selamat pagi Pak Dubes.
Selamat pagi, Mas Probo. Apa kabar?
Sehat Pak. Ya, terima kasih sudah diundang lagi ini.
Alhamdulillah.
Iya,
Senang bisa
waktu
ketemu lagi ya.
iya, waktu diskusi dengan Mbak Yolanda, loh kok saya itu Pak Dubes yang minta. Oke, kalau Pak Dubes yang minta, saya langsung siap. Iya, Pak.
Ya, kita kan bukan sekali ketemu langsung udahan. Kita berkelanjutan ya kan. Sustainable. Sekarang kan modelnya
Insya Allah, Pak. Insya Allah.
berkelanjutan.
Iya, iya.
Jadi tidak
Iya,
hanya dalam lingkungan saja, dalam persahabatan juga sustainable kan.
Insya Allah. Terima kasih Bapak.
Sehat Mas Prabowo ya?
Sehat, sehat. Ini saya ngirim 2 perwakilan ini dari mahasiswa, teman-teman peserta dari matkul hubungan internasional di Amerika Latin yang kemarin kita ikutkan dalam praktik kuliah lapangan, yang kemarin diajak jalan-jalan sama Pak Dubes di KBRI Panama.
Oh iya.
Iya, kebetulan
Kayaknya
ini
saya pas di Indonesia itu.
Ya. Ya, Pak.
Oke, makasih. Saya mau sapa dulu ini yang mungkin sudah hadir ya. Devi Yuni Ekasari dari Universitas Erlangga. Hadir belum ya?
Ya, selamat pagi Pak Dubes.
Selamat malam. Sehat ya?
Sehat Pak, Alhamdulillah.
Kemudian Nabila Abdurrahman Burhani.
Iya Bapak, selamat pagi dan malam.
Ya, apa kabar? Sehat?
Baik Bapak, Alhamdulillah.
Kemudian ada Deanita Nur Khalisa.
Selamat pagi Pak Dubes, apa kabar?
Selamat malam. Kabar baik, semua sehat juga ya?
Alhamdulillah Pak Dubes.
Kemudian saya mau sapa juga sahabat baru saya, Fember, Rastina. Ada Fember ya?
Selamat malam dari Indonesia, Bapak.
Hai, apa kabar? Ketemu lagi ya.
Alhamdulillah baik.
Kemudian ada Sulimaira Serrano. Hola, Sulimaira Serrano.
Halo, apa kabar?
Halo, baik. Kemudian Aras Bernal. Ayo. And then Eric Diaz Solis.
Hello.
How are you, Eric Diaz Solis?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And then Raul Rodriguez.
Hi.
Hi, how are you, Raul?
Fine, and you? I'm very well.
Thank you. And then, okay, I think I was called all speakers today, right?
Saraswati, Pak Dubes.
Oh, Saraswati. Saraswati Dewi Raja Cayam Pavitram. Oh ya, iya.
Iya, Pak.
Ini dari India atau dari mana ini?
Saya dari Bali, Pak.
Oh, dari Bali, Saraswati. Apa
Iya.
kabar?
Baik, Pak.
Bagaimana suasana Bali, Saraswati setelah G20 di sana kegiatan udah mulai ramai ya?
Iya, Pak, sudah mulai ramai.
Oke. Saraswati,
Iya.
terima kasih banyak ya sudah gabung juga.
Iya, Pak. Terima kasih
Dan
juga
semuanya
sudah mengundang.
all partisipan dan khususnya Ibu Yolanda dari PF Pensosbud KBRI Panama. Saya kembalikan lagi, saya persilahkan.
Siap Pak Dubes. It's Mary, can we start now to commence this event?
Good morning. Dear Indonesia and Panamanian speakers, people in general, welcome to this Indonesia Panama Youth Forum. My name is Itzmari Ortiz, MC of the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Panama City and accredited countries, and I'm pleased to be at this forum with you, which aims to discuss between students from both nations the following topics. As first, the role of youth in the face of environmental crisis. As second, ideas or solutions of the youth to solve this issue. And the last point, opinions on how to increase cultural exchange between Panama and Indonesia. With no other, let's start this youth forum. Thank you so much. Now, remarks from Ambassador Sukmo Harsono. Please, Mr. Ambassador.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning in Panama and good evening in Indonesia. Firstly, I would like to express my deep gratitude for the participant of the distinguished speaker from universities in Indonesia and Panama in the occasion of the Indonesia-Panama Youth Forum, and welcome to you all. Allow me to greet you all as my new best friend, my young friend. I hope all of my friends are in good heart and full of enthusiasm. Friends, the idea of this event is based on a strong desire to bring together millennial generation from around the world, especially between Indonesia students and students from Panama. Because we live on the same planet, environmental issues are matter of present and future. Even if we talk about environmental issue, not only in the earth, once again, not only in the earth. Seas and rivers, even the sky is now filled with technological waste. Climate change has caused serious damage in many countries and many victims. My new friend and my young friend, I hope this event become a symbol of friendship between Indonesia student and student from Panama. One day, you will meet in the World Forum, maybe as a president or minister of environment and health. I hope the friendship start now, continues with correspondence via email or IG, and continues to be friends, not just after this discussion. Once again, thank you for your participation, and I hope this forum we can have fruitful discussion among the Youth Forum Indonesia and Panama. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for your words. Now, Mr. Prabowo Darono Jakti will be the MC of the forum.
Okay, thank you very much, it's Simarai, and also thank you for the welcoming remarks, Mr. Ambassador, His Excellency Sukmo Harsono. Good morning in Panama time and good evening in Indonesian time. Okay, so after the MC has a brief introduction about me and which are these excellent students, please let me introduce myself. My name is Prabowo Darono Jakti, currently an international relations lecturer in the Faculty of Social and Political Sciences, Universitas Airlangga, Surabaya, Indonesia. So sort of people here has already known about me, especially Dianita and Devi, since they are one of my excellent students. So again, I say thank you very much to Mr. Ambassador and also Embassy of Indonesia in Panama City, who entrusted me to be the moderator of today's event. So now let's start. So we have already 9 speakers here. I will give you the rule. Each of speaker will given 5 minutes to deliver their thoughts via presentation. So let me have a brief introduction about all that we have to discuss today. We have 3 distinctive topics, and also this is very important to be discussed in this forum. So the first one is youth role in resolving environmental degradation. And then the second one, ideas for solutions regarding environmental problems. And the third one is how to increase cultural exchange between Indonesia, Panama's youths. So all of these 3 topics given today will be discussed in each of presenter. We have 9 presenters here from Panama and also Indonesia. The first one we have Deanita from Indonesia, and then the second one we have Aras Bernal, and then the third one we have Fember Larasina. I forgot to mention the first one is Raul Rodriguez. And then the fifth one is Sulimaira Serrano from Panama. And then the sixth one, we have Devi Yuni Ekasari from Indonesia. And then the seventh one, we have Eric Diaz from Panama. Eighth, we have Nabila Abdurrahman Burhani. The last speaker will be Saraswati Devi Raja Guliam Pavitram from Indonesia. So let's start the presentation from the Raul Rodriguez. I think time is yours. I will repeat once again. You have only 5 minutes, and then the rest, if it reaches 1 minute left, I will give you a sort of announcement in the chat room. Okay. Okay. Let's start from Raul Rodriguez. Time is yours.
Thank you so much. Before I start, I have a question. May I share some slides? I made a PowerPoint from this presentation.
Okay. The host of the forum.
Yeah, it's
Yes, you
already.
already co-host.
Okay. Everyone can share their screen. Okay.
Can you see?
Yeah.
Yes,
I
yes,
can see.
already.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much and welcome everybody. My name is Raul Rodriguez. I'm from Panama, and I have the pleasure to talk to you about the role of the young people on climate change. The fate of the world is in our hands. First of all, it is necessary to talk of the importance of young people. We, the younger generation, may feel that we are less able to control the devastating effects of climate change nowadays. The responsibility combined with the process of the humanitarian crisis triggered by the extreme weather events like the rising of the sea levels and the climate change has led to psychological distress among young people. But we are using our collective voices and actions to become the most prestigious generation on record fighting for the planet. Also, the older generation have a responsibility to encourage young people to protect the planet. On the other hand, I have some ideas and solutions from jobs to solve this crisis. As number one, we have conserve energy in your daily life, because making simple choices to save energy may have a serious consequence for global warming. We can do simple things, for example, turn off the lights where are not necessary, do not throw garbage in the street, take short showers, walk or bike if you can, and turn off your computer or electronic devices where are not in use. We can make simple choices to save energy, money, and the planet. Second of all, we need to convince people around you to save energy. Tell your friends, your family, your teacher about what is climate change, its importance and how they can help. For example, recycling, saving energy, consume biodegradable products, and many other things. In fact, the ignorance is one of the main problems. Global warming is a major risk to society. On one hand, we don't know exactly what will happen. But on the other hand, we recognize that can be serious. These consequences may affect different parts of the world in different way. That doesn't mean that they pollute in another part of the world that are not going to affect us because we live in the same planet. Also, we need to keep learning. This idea all involves conservation. While it is important, it is even more important to find and use energy that do not pollute the environment. Who will do it? It can be you. So the first and most important thing you can do is to get the best education possible so you can be a responsible citizen and continue making good decisions. Also, we need to participate in local politics. As young people grow to the voting age, for example, like me, it will be important for them that power to spark a change. And if they believe that none of that candidates are up to the task, young people can run for office for themselves. We need to start a conversation club at university, school, or work to raise the awareness. Get your fellow students, teachers, friends, family on board to have a reduction of energy consumption. Also, this is my favorite, we need to apply our interest to the climate change. The best way to take climate action is to think about what you are really enjoy doing. Especially young people don't have to dedicate their life to climate action in order to have a significant contribution to protecting the environment. Some easy examples are, if you're an artist, you can create art about the climate crisis. If you're a writer, you can tell stories. If you're a teacher, you can tell your students. For example, a student who cannot be involved in the climate crisis because their major is not environmentally relevant, there are ways to use any major to fight the climate change. For example, those majoring in business administration or real estate management can apply their research to find ways to control and maintain buildings using more sustainable materials and less toxic waste. And also, last but not least, I have the promote recycling and cleaning of beaches and rivers. The Ministry of Environment, also known as Mi Ambiente, began the development of the National Climate Action Plan, also known as PAC, the country roadmap for the implementation of Panama climate commitments that were present in the National Determined Contribution, as known as CDM, in the year of 2021. This workshop includes participation of members of the public sector, civil society, indigenous community, vulnerable groups, and young people committed to the climate action. This initiative workshop with various sectors of the society allowed Panama to raise ambition in terms of integrate climate change into national planning for future generations. I think that this is very important because we need to promote the recycling and cleaning of beaches and rivers. So I love the idea of the Ministry of Environment of making some workshops so the people get know about what is cleaning, and also we need to save the planet for the future generations. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your distinctive presentation, Raul Rodriguez. Raul have 6 tips to conserve the environment. First, conserve energy, and then convince people. And then the third, we have to keep learning. And then fourth, we have to participate actively in local politics. 5, apply your interest to the climate change, and also promoting to recycling. And I think we have 3 R, yes, right? Recycle, and then reuse and reduce. Okay, for the next speaker, we have Dianita Nurkhalisa from Indonesia. So time and place are yours, Dianita.
Okay, thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Wait up. Can you see it?
Yes, it can be seen.
Okay, thank you so much. So good morning, everyone from Panama, and good evening for all of you guys in Indonesia. My name is Dianita Nurkhalisa. You can call me Dea, and I am now in my 3rd year of university. I study international relations, and I would like to thank you for the opportunity to speak in this Indonesian Panama Youth Forum. And mainly, I would like to talk about the youth environment and the cultural exchange between 2 countries. Okay, so the first one is because we're talking mainly about the environment. We have to know the urgency of why we have to talk the environment in the first place. So the main statement that we have to understand is that basically right now the world is crumbling. Both countries, Indonesia and Panama, both of us are the members of Global South community. Both of us are developing countries, and both of us also own vast natural resources from the forestry, aquaculture, mineral reserves, and so on and so forth. But also, these abundance of natural resources go hand in hand with exploitations and most of the times very irresponsible actions from humans in order to make the most of the environment. And because we have the climate crisis urgency right now, when the greenhouse gases emissions are basically destroying our atmosphere, and there is basically no time for us to act except now. And it has been the discourse for years prior to this, and so many states in the world have committed to their actions, to so many agreements. And we have to also understand that when we're talking about the climate crisis, it is very complex. It is not as simple as, oh, it is the fault of the government, or it is the fault of the people. And therefore, because there are so many interests, so many problems, and so many actors involved in the discourse of climate change, talking about the solutions is pretty much a complex answer to this. But that doesn't mean that all hopes are lost, because we, as the young generation, we have a role in this matter. We are the reflection, we are the idea generator, and we are the future leader. Why are we the reflection? Because we show for example, what the government lacks, what the society right now lacks in preserving the environment. And therefore, because we are the reflection, we can actually generating ideas about the solution, or basically what is currently lacking in current policies or current initiatives regarding the environment. Because at the end of the day, we bear the burden. We are, as the future leader, we have to take care of what the current government or the current older generation are leaving up to us. And therefore, it is our role to, I put two examples here. The first one is voicing it out. The second one is acting it out. As the young generation, of course, we are very much open to opportunities and tools around us. For example, the social media, communities, or other parts of tools, for example, a writing platform. These are versatile tools that can help us in voicing our concerns. If we are concerned about the environment, then we lose nothing in educating ourselves and educating other people around us. And it may or may not be resonating out there, but the more people talking about it, there's a power in number. The more people understand about it, and the more people are more aware about it. And the second one is acting it out. Sometimes the tricky part of being a part of young generation is the lack of resources that we have and the lack of authority. But that doesn't mean that small actions don't matter. I agree with Raul before. Planting a tree, building a community, doing a zero-waste lifestyle, those are practically individual actions that matter in resolving the climate crisis issues right now. I'm sorry. Okay, the next one is how to solve environmental problems. Basically, the simple thing, or the simple way to put it, is appropriate actions taken by appropriate actors. So the first one is basically the government as one of the most significant actors in the world in dealing with climate crisis. I represent the young generation. I believe that we would like to see more active commitments from the governments. There are too many agreements, too many, okay, thank you. Too many agreements, but less commitments or less active commitments. And we would not like to see contradictory actions, but we would like to see actions that are actually linear in what the government have promised to us. And the second one is better and concrete representation of marginalized communities. For example, indigenous people. Both Indonesia and Panama own a vast amount of indigenous communities. And because in resolving climate crisis, for example, it is important that the benefit can be experienced to all of people, not only some levels of society. And it is easy for us to be blinded with business appropriate policies, and therefore we marginalize so many marginal communities, for example, the indigenous people. And the third one is the role of epistemic community in policy making. This is basically just listen to the scientists when the policy is being formulated, because they know best. And unfortunately, the current situation doesn't do so. So, and the next one is talking about the Indonesia and Panama future partnership. I would like to see in the future more platform like this. For example, Youth Forum. I would look forward to other Indonesia-Panama government initiatives in allowing the youth to talk not only about the environment. Maybe we can talk about something else. We can talk about the culture. We can talk about language. We can talk about our hobbies, for example. And the second one is we can utilize communities. For example, in Indonesia, we have a Spanish enthusiast community called Dime Porque. And it allows us to learn more about the Spanish culture and Latin American countries, and that also includes Panama. And the third one is we can allow collaborations from universities and student-led organizations. For example, I lead an organization focusing on renewable energy initiatives in my university, and I would look forward to maybe future opportunities from Panama youths as well. Thank you, and good morning, all.
Okay, thank you very much, Dianita, for your very fruitful presentation about how, as a youth, we have to reflect the role of youth as idea generator and also future leader, to be active, to be more active in tackling the issues of environmental change. We should refer, I think we should refer to the UN protocols regarding environmental change, such as Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, again, thank you very much. Okay, for the next one, we have Aras Bernal from I think.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, please.
Sorry, I think I'm having like issues with the audio. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thanks. Selamat malam in Indonesia. Good morning here in Panama. So I didn't prepare a slide presentation, but I have to.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. So the first point of this forum is the youth and the environment crisis. As the first two speakers mentioned, environment crisis and youth is sort of like it's not.
Aras, you can talk a bit louder.
Hold on.
Okay.
Can you hear me now? Sorry.
Okay.
I have to use the.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm having issues. So the first is like environment crisis and the youth. The youth, the future generation, is the one who's gonna, suffer the consequences of our actions now, or we are suffering the consequences of previous generations. So that's the relation, and that's the reason why ours and future generations' voices are important and matter, and that's why a new youth should be involved in the decisions or climate change decisions. Second point is how youngsters' ideas help, and how to help ideas to help the environment. But first, I'm gonna mention that I was reading the Indonesia submission for like what's the Indonesian strategy and also the Panama strategy to take on environment crisis, and I see that both countries are way underway, promoting like a better use of the resources, cleaning the seas, promoting like watersheds, how to manage them and try to like contemplate reusable energies. But there is that's the macro vision of the problem. It's something that it goes away or out of the regular person control. So for ideas, the same ones that Raul had before, and mentioned also the same ones Dianita had, inform people mainly about the crisis, take actions. Some of these ones could be some that I like and that I would like to, to see more. For instance, here is this Panama is a society that is based on like consumption, like we consume a lot. And maybe if we apply the 4 hours or 3 hours and whichever you have, like reuse things, try to give objects that we use day to day a second life, not just one. Measure how much water we use, try to like a better use of resources, mainly day to day. The other point was options and how to increase the Panama-Indonesian cultural exchange. We're already doing it, this initiative. It's perfect, so we can like, you know, share ideas and also learn from each other. I like I've been to Indonesia, and I like beautiful country, and I see the progress. I saw the progress when I was there. Things to do, still same here. So what I like there is like this. We have it here, but maybe because I live in the city, I don't see it that often. But like, you know, this way of living that it's like the person is pretty much connected with nature. So that's something that I learned from there and that we could share here. How to use the resources. We don't need to import everything from outside. We can be self-reliant. And we, as Dianita, I think, mentioned, Panama, Indonesia shares some common things. That is, we have vast natural resources. And I think we should try to like, especially in recent events that we see, we like, you know, with all the imports and the whole system kind of like collapsed. We could try to rely and, you know, nurture this idea of being self-reliant, use our resources and in a responsible way, of course. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is that we need to, all these actions that we as countries and as individuals take on, we need to think of the people who are most affected, who usually is the people who with less opportunities, or who live in these areas where flooding, droughts happen a lot, because where this catastrophe happen is usually in places where the people don't have resources. So we need to work together. Those of us who can, you know, who have resources or who are able to, for instance, connect this way, to have internet, find ways to integrate them and to you know, to help them, because many times, if for instance the case here in Panama is like you go to the indigenous to the tribes, and they don't have resources, they don't have proper water treatment systems, you know, so, and also sometimes it has to do with the culture. Their culture is different. Even here, like if the culture here in the city compared to the rural areas or the indigenous tribes, it's different. So find ways to you know, to communicate and transfer this the knowledge and you know, the idea and the idea, but also like try to help them understand that we are in a crisis, that we only have one planet, and that we need to work together. Some of the ideas, the guys already mentioned them. It's, you know, recycling, reusing, 1 minute. Okay, recycling, reusing, better water treatment. We can push the government, like really, like I hear, like try to for new generations, like younger kids, to, you know, to give them a voice, to give them a platform to speak up. That would be for me. I hope I didn't pass the time.
Okay, thank you, Aras. I think I take a very brief note about what is Aras talking about. So Aras talked about how youth involved in climate change and giving some pressure to government to change their decision regarding the environmental and cultural issues. So the very important thing is it is very interesting that from speakers to speakers share their continuity of ideas, so that Panama and Indonesia youth can share their vision together about culture and environmental issues together to save our planet. Okay, again, thank you very much, Aras Bernal, for giving your presentation. So the next one, we have, sorry, for the next one, we have Fember Larastina from Indonesia. You have 5 minutes to present your material. So time and place are yours, Fember.
Good morning to Panama citizen and good evening from Indonesia. Is my voice clear? And my PPT?
Yes, I can see you.
Okay, good. Hello everyone, my name is Fember and I can believe that we are all the material that has continuities because we don't have contact or anything before this time. Quite shocking, but yeah, let's start it. Don't waste time. Okay, I have earth care activities here, and these are the commonly known and has and you can see that there is don't throw trash in the river, do the 3 R's, reduce, reuse, recycle, turn off lights and waters when it's not in use, and plant trees and etc. But I see that these all things are not working well. I mean, not really help our earth. Okay. So because we have to see how much plastic in this world. Globally today, I searched this around like 10 July. So I think it's still relevant to this day. There is about 8.3 billion tons of plastic in this world. Some of the 3 point, I can't see my PPT, wait. Some 6.3 billion tons of that is trash. And imagine 55 million jumbo jets, then that's how much plastic exists here in this earth. You can see a lot of kind of plastic. This is just some of the kind that is we are popularly used. And we see how much plastic is recycled each year. So the majority of plastic is never recycled. Quite shocking, but yeah. And then only in the US, we are talking like in the United States of America, only 8.7% of all plastic waste was recycled, and it's in 2018. Many recycling programs only accept limited plastics, and they are just accepts like some kind of plastic, not all of the kind, and most of them is bottles. And also the problem is here. When we are connecting this environment thing with economy, of course, people will choose the profit. Like it's far cheaper if to make new products from scratch than recycling it. So here are the big facts. More plastic waste ends up in landfill every year and is still climbing to this day. Plastics recycling has barely improved since 2017. And only 12% of plastics has been incinerated. Plastic takes 400 years to degrade. We see the facts like this. By using 3 R's will never enough. And only the youth who are working on this environmental care things will never enough. And the next fact is, I put a lot of data here, like how many animals do humans consume a year? This is only in, again, United States of America. You can see the number. I won't read it one by one, but it's a lot, right? There is no balance within growing it and eating it. So, and how many trees are cut down each day and year? I searched it on, according to Science Journal Nature, approximately 42 million trees are cut down each day, or 15 million trees each year. We know that trees is not a thing that grow in one night. And this how much tree we cut each day. It's a lot, I know. And then the question is, so what can we do to save the earth or to fix our environment? Nope, nothing we can do, because we cannot save the earth. I know the answer is quite shocking, but we cannot save the earth. If you want to talking about a religion thing, at the beginning, the God or whatever you believe in created the earth, and he created the plant, the animals, everything in the earth first before human, and human is the last, right? Earth can survive by itself, but human cannot. Plants can produce their own food, human cannot. So we cannot save the earth. But what we can do is to fix the human, to fix our mentally human, because the real problem here is our consumptive behavior. Look at around you. How much plastic, how much paper do we use just in our room? How much wood that has to die for our table, and how much animals has to die for our consumption? We all are with the ease of the internet and online shopping. Our consumptive behavior is increasing, and we buy a lot of things. Can you do you know that how much food is wasted in restaurants, that they throw it away just like that? And have you ever seen the pictures in Twitter or somewhere else where the shop called Donuts, I don't know what the name is, but the donuts is wasted every single day, a lot. So this is our real problem. And what we are gonna do? What we gonna do? First, I want to say raising the awareness. We have to educate ourselves, people around us, and everyone else, using our social media, using our stories. You know what? Raising awareness can increasing our guilt if we spend more than as we should. That guilt will press us from our wanting. That is the one of the way to help our environment, or to decreasing our consumptive behavior. And then second one, do it. You know, guys, a lot of people talking about environment things, but we are ashamed to do it. Like, you see a trash on the road when you're past the road, and we just like walk away sometimes. We don't want to pick it up and throw it in the trash can. And it wrenched me even more when I see a trash can. The trash can is empty, but the trash is outside of the can. It's really upsetting me, and sometimes I can't even do anything because I have to walk past that really quick. I have to do something or go somewhere else in time. So sometimes we just need to act it out, like the first speaker said. We cannot just say it, but have to act it out. Just do it first. One time I have a story to share a little bit. I know my time's up. I walk away in my campus, and then I picked up some trash. And then people in front of me that I don't know who he is said to me, "Why are you picking up that trash?" I look at him and I open my mouth, freeze in front of him. I mean, like, what do you mean I'm picking up this trash? You know what I mean? Yeah, like, you see trash around of your campus and you don't want to pick it up, to clean it up. it's just a plastic bag or anything else.
Amber,
That
you have
is showing us, okay, that is showing
I can hear
us
that.
how awareness is really low in our society. And the next, the culture exchange Indonesian Panama is, I prefer to use the social media because see what we do, we using Zoom and we connected each other from each country, and we can do a lot with social media, like posting TikToks about videos about each other country food and dances, songs, movies, and etc. Okay, because my time is up, so I may end it here. Thank you.
Okay, thank
Sorry
you
for
very much, November.
time.
Are you born in November? Since your name is
Yes, I am.
November.
I am. I was born in November.
Okay. Okay, I think November had very serious talks, but we came to a very specific problems from the concept of 3 Rs, and then
Yeah.
the ideas of we cannot save the earth, but we can spread positive vibes, and also how to exchange culture in Indonesia and Panama is the one is from social the involvement of social media. Okay, I think that is a very interesting topic to be discussed, and I hope there will be some of question and answer in the discussion session. Okay, again, thank you very much, Pember. Okay, after Pember, we have the fifth speaker, Sulimaira Serrano from Panama. So time and place are yours.
Hello, good morning to everyone. Good evening to our friends from Indonesia.
Evening.
I'm so glad to be with all of you in this morning, and I would like to talk about a little bit about my opinion in this team. There is still time to make a difference. Climate change is a threat for youth everywhere, but we can still take action to protect our environment. I would like to share with you all 5 suggestions for young people looking to join the climate conversation and make a positive impact. Number 1, don't be afraid to make your voice heard. Climate change is a problem we are all experiencing now. Some of us feel the damaging effects more, some of us less, but at the end of the day, we are all in this together. Even though you are young, remind yourself that every one of us has a role to play. Don't be afraid to get actively involved in discussions, groups, and dialogues where you can address the problems, brainstorm potential solutions, make plans to put those solutions into action, like what we're doing right now. Climate change is scary, but we can't let our fear of our age prevent us from acting. Being young shouldn't stop you from talking about the issues that are important to you and coming up with ideas to solve them. Together, we can do this. Number 2, never stop learning. The more you learn about climate change, the more seriously you are going to take it, and the better you will be able to contribute to discussion on climate solutions. Here are some areas to consider researching if you want to start better understanding the challenges we are facing. Rising global temperatures, animal species extinction, air pollution, wildfires, rising sea levels, natural disaster. We all need to understand the bigger picture of how climate change affects people, animals, and plants in order to do something about it. Number 3, embrace sustainability in your day-to-day life. You are never too young to change your own lifestyle for the better. Keeping things sustainable at home will empower you to advocate for sustainability in your community and beyond. Here are some quick and easy ways in which you can bring climate consciousness into your day-to-day routine. 1, riding your bicycle instead of taking a car. Reducing your plastic waste. Recycling. Can you hear me?
Yes, I still hear you. Okay, now your voice are gone. I think you have to unmute your speaker, your mic.
Now?
Ah, okay, yeah.
Okay. The ways to bring consciousness into your day-to-day life: riding your bicycle instead of taking a car, reducing your plastic waste, recycling, planting trees and other plants, treating animals and with love, and helping conservation efforts. There are consequences to all of our actions, and even this small behavior change can radiate outwards and help make the world a better place. Talking about climate change with your friends, parents, teachers, or experts will inspire you and give you additional ideas of ways to contribute. And always remember that your example can inspire those around you too. Number 4, spend time outdoors. Discussing and researching climate change is key, but so is connecting with nature directly by spending more time outdoors. Quality outdoor time will significantly contribute to your health, both mental and physical, and remind you what climate advocacy is really all about. That's why you should start exploring all the amazing ecosystem you have read about by going to mountains, lakes, the seaside, the park, any nature near where you live. And number 5, spread the word. It's no secret that young people are the future. That's why it's so important that you become an advocate of our planet, a driver of responsible behavior, and a global citizen well-versed in climate issues. If you accept this mission, you will need to spread the word on everything you have learned and come up with all the people around you. Friends from school, family members, teachers, online communities. You could even organize action with your school or other peer groups and solve local climate change issues with your friends. Final thoughts. As a young person, it can be hard sometimes remembering how amazing and powerful you are. There's so much you can do with your pure energy and vision for a sustainable future. And it's never too early to get involved in solving climate change issues. Don't be afraid to share your passion for climate actions with the people in your life. Connect, build a community. When we work together, we really do have the power to change things for the better, one step at a time. Terima kasih. Thank you very much.
Okay, gracias, Sulimaira. I think Sulimaira has underlined some of interesting point. I can, in short, Sulimaira talk about the interesting point about we have to build our awareness and initiative from ourselves and our surroundings. And for example, we have to spend time outdoors. That is very brilliant. Thank you very much, Sulimaira, for delivering your presentation. Okay, interesting. Okay, for the 6th speaker, we have Devi Yuni Ekasari from Indonesia. You have only 5 minutes. So time and floor are yours.
Okay, thank you, Mas Propo, for the kind remarks. And am I audible?
Yes.
Hello, Mas Propo.
Yes.
Am I audible? Okay.
Yes.
So good morning, everyone in Panama, and good evening for everyone in Indonesia. And considering the time constraint, without further ado, I will start my brief presentation that entitled Youth as Agent of Change, Resolving Environmental Problems and Enhancing Cultural Exchange. Next slide, please. Thank you. So as introduced earlier by Mr. Probo, my name is Devi Yuni Ekasari, and I am currently an international relations student at Universitas Airlangga. Nice to meet you all. Next. Yeah, this slide. So as we can see in the pictures that we are now living in an emergency environment as evidenced by global warming, climate change, and other environmental disruptions. And in that sense, because youth or us is constituted as a large part of the world's population, so we are vulnerable to this environmental risk. And in addition to that, we or youth will have to also live longer with the consequences of current environmental decisions than will the elders. So future generation will also be affected by these decisions. And so that's why we have to take the action. Next, please. Thank you. So what we can do to resolve these environmental problems, and here's I call it the rule of 7, which contains 7 easy ways that we can apply in our daily life to help solve the environmental problems. Firstly, we can start our own initiative or volunteering in environmental organizations. And it can be something small, like starting a community cleanup groups and running online awareness campaigns, writing like something like articles or journals, or even it might be better if we can build a large social organization with significant reach and impact. And the second, we can do the 3R steps. I know that maybe we are skeptical about these steps, but I think it is still effective to take this effort. So 3R step is contains or use trash that can still be used for other functions, and then reducing everything that causes waste, and lastly recycling waste into useful new goods or products. And thirdly, we can use sustainable products and try to look for more eco-friendly alternatives that can replace plastic. For example, buying our own usable water bottle, or maybe we call it tumbler that can help in reduce plastic waste. And fourth, we can dispose garbage properly, use the 3R steps, and also don't disposing garbage in the river because it can cause flood, of course, and that fish, and of course water pollution that can harming us or human themselves. And fifth, energy saving, especially renewable energy such as fossil fuels and electricity. And instead of that, we can use renewable energy such as solar panels, or also hydroelectric power. And then the sixth, we can also cutting meat and tire intake, because I think it also already been mentioned by speaker earlier, because as we all know that livestock is release large amounts of methane into the atmosphere, and methane is one of the most potent greenhouse gases that contributes to global warming. In that sense, so we can by cutting meat and dairy intake, we can also contribute to reducing the global warming. And the last is tree planting, because trees give off oxygen that we need to breathe, and as trees grow, they help also absorb and sink the carbon emissions that will otherwise contribute to global heating. So by taking this simple action, I believe every change, either big or small, will create an impact to solve the environmental problems. Next slide, please. Thank you. So these are some transformation that my campus, Universitas Erlangga, has made to build a sustainable campus. Firstly, regarding transportation, Universitas Erlangga has imposed restriction on vehicle and centralized the parking system in campus area. So the vehicles are parked in a multi-story parking building, and the students under the 5th semester, if I'm not mistaken, are also not allowed to bring a car. And Universitas Erlangga also conducts regular emission tests for vehicles that entering campus in every 2 years. And then furthermore, our Universitas Erlangga is also promoting water conservation and the efforts to save waters, including like installing sensor on tap as seen in some areas. And then regarding infrastructure and land management, Universitas Erlangga is now also trying to increase the green open space like park and any other open space. And then regarding waste, Universitas Airlangga has consistently reduced the paper usage. And then lastly, in the terms of energy, Universitas Airlangga has also started to utilize environmentally friendly energy, such as electricity, such as from solar panels, water wheels, and the speed bumps, as can see in the some areas. And maybe these efforts can also be applied in other campus in Panama or Indonesia, although all of this has not been optimal. This effort I can see that this effort is still be intensified and increase to wider area in my campus. Next slide, please. So thank you. Now we are moved to the cultural issue. Actually, I think Indonesian Embassy has already made, okay, thank you, Mas Probo, for the reminder. Some great efforts, they already made some great efforts to increase the cultural change, such as language class and Indonesian song singing competition, as I can see in the Indonesian Embassy in Panama YouTube channel. But maybe these methods can also help enhance cultural exchange. But yeah, the first is, I think it's already been mentioned before by the speaker before, through social media promotion, of course. And as we all know, we are now live in the digital era, so social media very much intertwined with our daily life. And today, of course, one of the most popular social media channels, I think most of us also has an account on this channel. There is TikTok, and from the data that I get, 60% of users of TikTok is Gen Z or youth. So I think it would be effective to use TikTok as a cultural promotion platform. And what can be promoted are about maybe traditional cuisine receipt, and then tourist attraction, and so many other things. The same goes for Instagram Reels too. And the second about cultural class and exhibition, I think it can be more effective if held online, and it can contain class of maybe traditional dance or traditional instrument. And when the participant of the class are already proficient, then what they have been learned can be shown at the exhibition to attract other people to learn about the culture. And then last is coffee diplomacy. And don't be mistaken, what I mean by diplomacy in here is not only about the top level, but I think diplomacy can also be done in the grassroots level, such as through traditional coffee promotion in local cafe or place where the youth hang out. Because in Indonesia, there is a trend of the youth to more interested in coffee right now, and they usually consume it in cafe. And in Indonesia, we call this trend as nongkrong. Maybe some of you from Indonesia know about this term, and I don't really know the English word for this, but actually it's just about chit chat with friends while having a cup of coffee. So if this trend is also happen in Panama, I think it might be effective to promote culture to you through selling traditional coffee at the local cafe. Next slide, please. So that's all for my brief presentation. And for the closing remarks, I want to emphasize about the environmental matters. And as we can see in the picture, because we cannot wait for Mars to be forested, of course, we have to save our Earth for better living in the future. And thank you very much. I give the time back to Mr. Prob.
Tidak ada suaranya, Mas Probo. Nggak ada suaranya. Masih hilang.
Oh, ya, dengar ya. Halo, ya.
Ya, sudah lanjut.
So, I think Devi has summarized what steps should be taken and contributed by youth, especially Panama, Indonesia, to help solve environmental problems. And then the most interesting point is Devi has mentioned about how coffee can be one of instrument to diplomatic public policy. I think that is interesting point from the Devi's presentation. Okay, again, thank you very much, Devi. And then for the next one, we have 7 speaker, which is who is Eric Diaz-Solis from Panama. So time and floor are yours.
Okay, thank you.
Eric.
I'm going to share my screen. Okay.
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 Your voice is loud and clear.
Good morning. Good afternoon. In this occasion, I'm going to talk about environmental law that agreements in Panama. First of all, what is an environmental law? An environmental law refers to the protection of our natural resources and the regulation of business that impact in them. That includes the resources considered valuable to humans, such as water, minerals, as well endangered species and other aspects of the natural world. What environmental laws do we have in Panama? Do we have in Panama the law number 41 of July 1 of the 98, the General Environmental Environment of the Republic of Panama created the National Environmental Authority, ANAM, as the authority, autonomous government entity of the state that's matter of natural resources, environment, to ensure the compliance and the application of law, regulations, and national environmental policy. This law established the basic principles and norms from the protection, conservation, and recovery of the environmental promoting and the sustainable of the natural resources. In addition, in order of environmental management and integrates with a social economic objective to achieve and development sustainable human development in the country and establish a general framework for information, participation, and environmental matters and the responsibility for environmental damage. Law number 24, or law or wildlife law. This law established that the wildlife is part of the natural heritage of Panama and declares its protection, conservation, restoration, research, management, and the development of genetic resources as well as species, rare varieties of wildlife in the public domain for the benefits and safeguarding of the natural ecosystems, including those species and the varieties introduced into the country, and the adaptation process have undergone genetic changes in the different ecosystems. And the law 44, or the law of the hydrographic basins. The main objective of this law is to establish the country a special administration regime that's manage the protection and conservation of hydrographic basins, which allows the sustainable and development in social, cultural, and economic aspects, maintaining the basis of the natural resources for the future generation based on the territorial environmental plan of hydrographical basins. The Escazú Agreement. The objective of the Escazú Agreement is to guarantee the full and effective implementation in Latin America and the Caribbean of the right to access to environmental information, public participation, environmental decisions, and the making the process to access to the justice and environmental matters. As well, the creation of the capacity and cooperation contributing to the protection of the right to each person of the present and the future generations to live a healthy environment and sustainable development. How to promoting relations between Panama and Indonesia. As basis, we can say that to improve diplomatic relations with the Republic of Indonesia is essential to encourage this type of thoughts and activities. We are exchanged between students from both countries. It should also noted another effective method is to exchange students at secondary and higher education levels. This type of programs allow the students from Indonesia and Panama to respectively to have experience of visiting cultural, recreational, and economic centers in both countries. That establish a scientific embassy is very good idea because both countries, Indonesia and Panama, have a very important biodiversity. Both of these biologists and scientific can learn about the conservation techniques of the biodiversity. And the importance of the Indonesian embassy is also cultural embassies will be a very good idea to enrich both cultures, since the Indonesian friends could teach us techniques to their traditional medicine, their culinary custom, their traditions, and also we can learn, we can teach our culture to enrich both parties. It's also important to remove all the barriers to the tourism so the Panamanian citizens and Indonesian citizens can travel freely from one country to another. To discover the wonder of those countries are the main points to improve the relationship with the wonderful country of the Southeast of Asia. That is proven a touristic power that Panama can see for an example of development of our tourist industry. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Eric, for your presentation. We have sort of interesting points about the wildlife and ecosystem, how we save the environment from the legal perspective. And I think Eric also mentioned about the importance of Escazú agreement in Latin America, and then the role of Indonesian embassy, where you can promote your cultural heritage, not only to conserve it, but also to develop it and promote it to other countries, especially when we talk about Panama and Indonesia relations. Again, thank you very much, Eric, for your presentation. Okay, we move to the 8th speaker, who is Nabila Abdurrahman Burhani from Indonesia. So the time and place are yours, Nabila.
Okay, I hope my screen is shared. Okay, okay, is it shared? Is it shared yet?
Okay, I can see it.
Okay, so hola, buenos días a Panama, and good evening in Indonesia. Mi nombre es Nabila Abdurrahman Burhani, but please call me Bella. I think that's all I can say for the Spanish part, okay? Since we are in this forum, the topic that I will talk about today is the role of the youth in the face of environmental crisis. Youth nowadays are becoming more aware of various problems in their countries and throughout the world, one of which is the environmental crisis. There are various actions that the younger generation may take to positively impact the our environment around them. As we can see from the pictures, from the no plastic movement in Bali to the climate change protest by the youngest activist, Greta Thunberg. This shows that the youth all across the world are taking a range of steps to minimize the environmental damage. So what can we do as a young individuals to have a positive impact on our changing environment? Well, to me, the actions that we can do are basically educate, unify, and lead by example. So first of all, we must educate ourselves and others on the reality of the problem as we witness the environmental changes. It doesn't matter if we are studying in different fields, but to desire to expand the personal knowledge and other disciplines in order to prevent the damage and improve the value of the environment must exist. As we live in this modern era, we need to we need to read from various sources and platforms to increase our knowledge regarding different environmental issues and improve our ideas to tackle those problems. And also, we may communicate the information and knowledge to others through the conventional ways, such as daily conversation, teaching and learning activities, non-conventional ways, such as group discussion forums like this, and social media platforms. As an example, I am a student of urban regional planning. I initiated a raising awareness campaign to educate people regarding the land subsidence in Jakarta in order to influence their attitude and beliefs regarding the issue and hopefully increase their engagement in behaviors that could minimize the crisis. Even the campaign is still a baby. So second, in order to significantly increase our chances to success, we must unite behind a single goal and carry out social movement or activities, such as the fight for greening the city or preventing buildings that do not comply with the regulations. It can also be achieved through the various activities with our university friends or organizations, such as doing some voluntary work to clean up the rubbish in the park, beach, or or a residential area. Or if it's in Indonesia, we could clean the street drainages in residential area or on the streets to prevent flooding when it rains, because in Indonesia, their drainage are open. Third, as an agent of change, we have the ability to approach things that have more beneficial influence on the environment around us, which is lead by example. When given the opportunity to change or to do something, we should use it to demonstrate that young people can lead with ideas that are more sustainable and renewable. We can start with something simple and consistent. For example, if we notice that our residential area or neighborhood that doesn't have a waste sorting system, this is our opportunity to build one from our own home. We should educate and demonstrate waste sorting to our family members first on a regular basis. Because of our influence, neighbors can follow this kind of action. We shouldn't have to wait for someone else to do it. If we feel we can do it, then we shall do it, as long as we believe it will benefit the environment, especially our local environment. It is possible to achieve any of the three things I've stated previously if young people are creative. As Finn Harry said, creativity is a powerful tool for impact. As a young person, I believe that we, as the young generation, should think creatively and critically about ways to reduce existing environmental issues without having to use expensive equipment or to be professionals. So that's why I came up with three kinds of creativity for us to take part in. First one is the social creativity. We can participate in volunteer work, internship that are related to the environmental works, actions, campaign, or variety of social movement. However, it is still ideal if we start first. The second one is the business creativity. There are several examples of businesses that are related to reducing the amount of worn out items that end up in the landfills. By creating a thrift or secondhand shop, selling certain recycled objects, and using less plastic packaging by switching to paper. It is more much sustainable and better. And the third one is technological creativity. We can create anything with the help of technology, especially to show how drastically our environment is deteriorating. We can express our environmental worries through film or photography with a camera or phone. Our role in demanding change for a better environment is reframing serious environmental problems and giving innovative ideas to solve them. That is why it starts from us to transform the world into a better place. Don't depend on someone else to do it. We should be passionate about what deserves more attention, preferably the environment, and use our voices and different sources to educate, unify, and lead by example. Yeah, that is for me. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much, Bella, for delivering your distinctive presentation. Bella had talked specific issues about the how we educate ourselves first, and then how we educate others, and then leading by example. It is very important to us. And then she also mentions three kind of creativity that needs to be more comprehend. Okay, thank you, Bella, for your presentation once again. Okay, for the last speaker, we have Saraswati Devi Rajagulyam Pavitram
Yes.
from Indonesia.
Yeah.
You have 5 minutes to deliver your presentation. So time and floor are yours.
Okay. Can you see the PowerPoint and my sound?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends, good morning all in Panama, and good morning to all my friends in Indonesia. It is an honor for me to attend the Indonesia Panama Student Forum 2022 activities today. And on this happy occasion, I want to deliver a speech about opinion on how to increase cultural exchange between Indonesia and Panama. As we know that nowadays we see that in many media, they only talk about our differences, which make many people compare one culture with another, which in turn creates a division between people. Moreover, for now, there are still young people who are less aware of their culture. Therefore, the topic of increasing cultural exchange between Panama and Indonesia is very good to discuss because a country has a cultural diversity with its own characteristics. Here I will discuss several things that can be done to increase cultural exchange between Panama and Indonesia. The first is cultural exchange through traditional dances. I, as one of the parts who like a traditional dance can serve a bridge for cultural exchange between Indonesia and Panama, promoting mutual understanding and friendship. Indonesia has a broad and deep tradition, history, and cultural emotion. Likewise, Panama has a diverse culture. In 2019, during the FFIM activity in Panama, the Indonesia Embassy in Panama City performed three types of traditional Indonesian dances, namely Balinese dance, Gatut Kaca dance, and Randai dances, performed by a dance group from Mexico City. Hundreds of visitors who were present at that time witnessed this traditional Indonesian dance performance. The performance of Indonesian regional dances received high appreciation from the visitors. As one of the student representatives from Indonesia, I hope there will be many activities regarding traditional cultural exchange carried out by the youth because knowing each other's cultures make the relationship closer. Then the second is by way of education. One way for youth to promote cultural exchange is through student exchange. Why is education a way to increase cultural exchange? Because by studying abroad, we will meet new people, new places, and new ideas that make young people have an open mind. Especially regarding the culture between Indonesia and Panama's culture. Meeting new and interesting people and places is proof that cultural exchange is effective and allow us to be leaders wherever we go. Through cultural exchange, we can celebrate our differences and use knowledge about one another's cultures, going forward to become effective global leaders. This statement shows that cultural exchange proves that everyone can thrive in a new environment. Both cultural exchange through traditional dance and educational enable to interact with each other cheerfully. These jokes and laughter make the sound of happiness, and this unintentional reaction is unifying factors worldwide. Therefore, These two methods can be basis for increasing cultural exchange between Panama and Indonesia. The former president of United States once said, simple exchange can break down the walls between us because when people come together and talk to each other and share the same experience, their shared humanity is revealed. Barack Obama. Okay, and finally, I would like to thank to the Embassy of the Republic Indonesia, Panama City, Esaumbul University, and the staff who contribute to this event for creating activities that contribute to promoting the spirit and development of cultural exchange between countries for youth. Today, I am very happy to see participants from Indonesia and Panama and learn about each other's cultures, which will improve skill and friendship between countries. Thank you all, and I will close this speech with a quote from me. Differs, not difference. This is not a problem and barrier for someone to learn something new. But this diversity makes us know about this beautiful world. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you, Saraswati Devi from Esa Unggul. I think this is the end of all presentation delivered by the speakers. And then we proceed to discussion session. We have only, I think, 20 minutes left before we went to this discussion conclusion and also closing by the MC. So everyone can raise a question by before it you should raise your hand first and then mention what's your name and where do you come from. Okay, let's start this discussion session. For those of you want to ask a question. Okay, Rajesh Ferry, you can open your mic and also your camera.
Okay, thank you for the time. Hello, everyone. I'm Rajeshwari from Science and Technology Computer University at Semarang. So I would like to ask a question regarding to all of your presentation. So all speakers mentioned about pointing out regarding to environmental awareness, but these steps like 3 R's and planting trees and then voicing out and then being example to people, it's already there so many years, but why still there is no awareness from the people? That is my questions.
Okay, thank you, Rajesh Ferry, for an interesting question. So for those of you who have an answer, you can also directly answer the question from Rajesh Ferry. Okay. Yes, Janita.
Hi, am I audible?
Yep.
Clear.
Thank you. So like the advocacy and all the climate talks, it has been going on for years, for decades even. So why not all of the people know about this? The first one, I think we have to understand about different cultural backgrounds. So cultural backgrounds, for example, educational backgrounds even, we cannot expect every person on earth to be able to acknowledge and understand the climate crisis the way we as students do or as experts do. For example, maybe those come from the older generations, our parents or our grandparents' generations even. Maybe they have a different way to live back then. And it wasn't as hard or it wasn't as they weren't so aware about the environment the way we talk about the climate crisis right now, because we have already witnessed the impact of the environment by ourselves. We have seen droughts, we have seen flood everywhere. So it is rather difficult to sort of like perceive the world differently than what they used to see back then in their era. That's the habit. And the second one is education. Not many people have the privilege to gain education the way all of us do here. We have the privilege to learn in universities. We have the education to access the internet and so on and so forth. And the people who do not have the privilege to be that educational, to reach that level of education, of course, they wouldn't have time to talk about the environment. Maybe they're even struggling with food, with their daily needs, with fulfilling what to feed their kids, or how to gain money for next week's worth of food. So they don't have time for that, because again, climate crisis is also a discourse of class. We have to understand that not many people have the education and also the time worth to talk and even think about the solution of climate crisis, because yeah, it is just not worth their time. They only learn how to survive and not wasting their time for a climate crisis. So when it comes to climate crisis, it is difficult to sort of like get everyone on the same level as we are in terms of awareness. And that's why we have to keep on learning and keep on educating others. Thank you. That is all for me.
May I give my opinion regarding to your statement? Yeah, okay. You said that maybe it is become apart from the older people, it is quite difficult for them to understand what we are trying to say, but we are here to educate them. Then why it is quite difficult for them to understand? And the second one about you said that not everyone will get the same opportunity to get the best educational, especially about environmental awareness. But let we shorten the scope. As a youth and as a student, whenever I attend event, especially it is an outdoor event, most of them, like let's say that youth actually put the garbage from the food and the drinks they drink everywhere. Not they never put that garbage in the supposed to be in the garbage bin. So what do you say about this? Thank you.
Shall I answer this, or can I give the time to other speaker?
Okay, I think Bella has some point to add from what Deanita's answers.
No, maybe Deanita first, because I'm still
Okay.
groping the question, and then I'll
Okay,
answer
Deanita.
if I have in mind.
No, I mean, there are two other people raised their hands.
Aras, do you want to add some points?
Yeah, I kind of got the question, but I just wanted to like add up to what Dianita said, and the reason why we still see like it's been decades and we are still like trying to promote like to plant trees and all of that is because the laws in the countries, like Dianita mentioned it, we come like people before us, they are like different way of thinking, and then it's like it's not that old that the young generation has been taken into consideration. That's why it was surprising to see this girl from Germany. I don't remember her name, but I think her last name is Thunberg. So seeing her, a young person, raising awareness, it was like quite shocking. And that's the reason. Young generations are now given a space to express themselves. And even now it's still like an issue. We're trying, like it's still like more to develop on that, but that's the reason. countries are in general were not, especially the developing countries, were not or are not developed enough in the laws field, so it makes it difficult. Also, there is the economical part, powers of economics in the countries. So, and these come from like past generations, so that's gonna make it difficult for younger generations. But I think it's like if we keep educating people, youngsters, and we keep promoting this type of initiatives, and we can have some impact, because at the end is it's the young generation is gonna be left with whatever the result is. So I hope that kind of helps answer your question. But because I know it's been decades, like, why are we still telling people to plant trees? But it's because of the laws and like economical powers. Yeah, pretty much that.
Okay, Arash, thank you for the answer, and also Dianita. How is the answer, Rajeshwari? Is it answering all of your question?
I think a little bit it answering. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Rajeshwari. So the next one we have Azeda. Azeda, do you have question, or do you have
Yes.
you want to add some points?
No, I want to ask you.
Okay, okay. Time is yours.
Okay, can you hear my voice clearly now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Oh yeah, thank you. Good morning and good evening. My name is Azeda, student of graphic design study program at State University Semarang, and calling you to Miss Fember, because we are human. We need everything, but still we can keep our environment, our art. We save everything and trying to changing habit, like everything is plastics, then we can try to use like paper, even though finally we need to produce more paper, and then the paper is safe for our earth, but also paper use that must be limit for it, and like for market online packaging, even though the material for produce that is can be get easily for now, but still we need to keep the material. It's mean trees, and we need to keep that green for our earth. In our campus, actually, State University Semarang, we didn't use paper print for everything. All of everything that need paper has changing be in digital at all, except only thesis book. And okay, about that paper, what is that? I want asking about paper for everything. Like, how about paper for all book print or other paper print that still need to print it, when actually because also we need to go green for our earth, not to damage the earth. And also, if I think about Mr. Arash say about educating everyone, that isn't easy actually. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Azeda, for your question. From the speakers, are there any answers for Azeda's question? Or Arash, since you are still...
Yeah, I hear.
Okay.
Sorry, I don't use Zoom that often, so I'm kind of new to Zoom. But I don't. I hear my name. What was the question again? Sorry.
Oh yes. Actually, no. It's continue that Mr. Arasai about educating everyone, like young people, about that. That's actually isn't easy, right?
Isn't easy. No, it isn't easy. It isn't easy. For instance, here in Panama, I'm gonna give this the example of Panama. I don't know the canal. We have a canal, and like in the past, when it was managed by the U.S., there was this law that wouldn't and still the law still there. It's like if you went there, you couldn't throw trash. Any type, because you would get fined, and like people would respect these things. So these kind of like imposed laws kind of help sometimes. So in schools, what they did is like, okay, like you cannot kind of like laws within the schools, and also, you know, educating about like not like, you know, recycling, putting on bins for plastic, glass, and these kind of things. It's oof, this is for years, but still struggling. And even like and it's like ongoing, because the thing is, for instance, in Panama is there are the laws now with the metro system. We have like you cannot eat inside the metro, and the reason for that is to try for people not to throw the package, you know, out there, stuff like that. But the old generation is kind of the problem. It's like the most difficult to educate, because they are used to doing things their way. And then but honestly, I feel younger people, it's not easy task, but they get it better, because younger generation are more open to you know, to things. Like now we have also, it's crazy, but we have people like you know, now people, younger generations are vegetarian, or they don't eat gluten, stuff like that. And so these type of people, they get it better, I think. So it's just a matter of continuous education, and hopefully we get to a point where, like, at some point the eldest generation will have to die, and hopefully the younger know better. That's how I see it.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you for your
Okay, thank you,
answer.
Aras. Okay, Fember, since you are raised your hand, do you want to add some points regarding Azita's question?
Yeah, about the paper stuff. Oh, I love paper.
Okay, yes, please.
Yeah, I love talking about paper things. I have the example here. You know what is this? This is a pack of. I collected it because I'm afraid to throw it away. This is a stroke from shopping things, like after buying things and we got some stroke. Here we are. It's very hard to tell the people. I have to download some apps to tell the people, oh, please put it on the apps. I don't want to receive any papers. We have to digitalize everything. And I'm quite agree about your opinion about digitalization. We have now PDF books. We have things like Words, Excel. We should use that more often, especially for young generation. I think in my house, I don't use any more books to writing down anymore. I use words. So in class, I just type it down on my phone note, or in in words like that, because I'm so scared to throwing away paper.
Yes,
I
that's
remember
right.
that I remember that my teacher said that the tree is not just for our consumption. You have to remember, tree is our oxygen. That's why I see people throwing paper, like they draw one scratch and then throw it away like that. I pick it up from the trash can, because I cannot see that paper waste just like that. I have to use it. So it's really hard, especially in my own house. People in my house, I educate them little by little, because before I came, I'm moving from my country, from my hometown to this new city. In this house, we have 10 people, and they don't have habit to save plastic bags that can be reused, or paper. So I show them, I do it first. And then now they got some plastic bags from the shopping or online shopping, they keep it. So for another, and so it's just start from us. We have just to do it. That's what I say. That's my another point. Thank you.
Yes,
Okay,
thank you so much for your opinion, Miss
Thank
Fember.
you, Fember. Thank you, Fember. Okay, all speakers, do you have any kind of points to add? Okay, I think there are no other opinion. So how is Azita?
Are there?
Yes. Yeah, thank you. It's enough.
Is it clear? Okay.
Thank
you
so
very
much.
much. Okay, thank you, Azida. Okay, in the next one we have Dimas Adiwijaya. Do you want to ask some question?
Yes, actually, I want to ask some questions. This question actually is about. This question is actually about ozone. Like this is a scientific question. We know that ozone is produced by ultraviolet light and by electrical discharge. It is very aggressive and oxidize anything it gets in contact with. And then we know that 15 years ago, you could even buy ozoniers that produce ozone for improving air quality in office and radio shortage. But nowadays, ozone is considered endangered, toxic, and then we stop to produce it. But we know too that ozone layers is protect us from the ultraviolet. So why we don't just make artificial ozone? Even that scientists say that it's really need a huge concentration and huge cost. So why don't just all of country in this world just a collaboration to make like accelerator particle, because there is a accelerator particle one of country, I forget about the name of the country, that can make a particle. So don't we just make it together, because this is for our earth, or we make artificial photosynthesis, because it actually is possible for a scientific, like in biology and chemical, it's possible, but the something that makes it really hard is time and then a cost. Why don't we just together as a human beings, all of country, for making it? Maybe just that's my question. Thank you.
Okay, I think it is a very futuristic question from Dimas Adiwijaya. So, how about your opinion? How is your opinion about artificial ozone to be researched in the future? So we have Nabila and also Dianita. Bella and Dea, time is yours. Bella first.
Okay, I'll go first. Actually, Dimas, that's a very good statement and question at the same time. But actually, I agree with you. Everything is a man-made thing, especially when it comes to ozone. But my question to you is, since you're asking us to do it together, why don't you start it first? Is that I think that if you believe that what you think is can be realistic, then I will say that you should do it as long as you know what you're doing. As for I am not a scientist. I may not learn about science that deep, but I believe that you know what you're talking about. So all I want to say is I am waiting for you to do that. I'm waiting for you to do that. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, thank you, Bella. Next, we have Dea.
Okay, thank you. It is a very accelerationist thought from the question. I happen to learn about international relations, and we also learn about why not all of countries do this, do A, or why not all of countries do B, not all of countries do C. Because the reality is it is not that simple. Trying to gather all countries to do one thing or another. Okay, let's not move far to, for example, creating artificial ozone or creating some sort of particle, whatever. Just talking about, for example, what action do all countries agree to resolve to tackle about the climate crisis? It is not an easy one. That's why back then in COP26, if you guys are familiar, it is one of the most prominent climate talks where all of countries gather together in one single country talking about, okay, my commitment is this, my commitment is that. The truth is, many countries have their own interests. Many countries have their own, they must fulfill, for example, their economy first. They have a more developmentalist style of governance. They are more concerned about, for example, the business in their countries, and therefore they cannot agree to one single solution. For example, phasing out coal. India and China, they really don't agree about phasing out coal as non-renewable energy sources, even though it is something that we all have to do, even though it is something important to decrease the greenhouse gases emissions. Everyone knows that, but India and China doesn't agree to that, and so on and so forth. So that's why I said in my presentation, talking about the climate crisis and resolving these environmental issues is such a complex problem, because when we're talking about one state, we're not talking about that particular state only. We also talk about what people are playing the roles in the government. Is there any business people there? Is there any people who are pro-environment there? Is there any people who is basically in between the business and the environment part? So I think at the end of the day, even though we cannot all agree, or we cannot gather all states to agree to one single solution, whether it is the environmental solutions or a more technological aspect of it, I think, yeah, we can just do our best in seeking for the solutions that that all of us can benefit upon. I think that's. I think it is your turn, Fember.
Fember, you have the floor now.
All right. When Dimas mentioned about the artificial ozone, the first thing that come to my mind is it's expensive. It's really, really expensive, and it's not an easy task. You know, as Kadea said, it's every country has a different national interest, and that's what we learn in international relations, even though I'm just in the second semester. But but yeah, for artificial ozone is now, I read this, is almost as bigger than the continental of the United States, the hole. So to fill that hole, we need a lot of artificial ozone, which we need a lot of money. That's why it cannot be applicated for now. As we know, we have a crisis from the pandemic, we have crisis from now the conflict of Ukraine and Russia. People in their government has their own problem right now. So, you know, these environmental things seems like they push it to the side. It's just a sad truth, but it is the truth. That's why we use our voice here to start a difference, a single step for a million journey. Thank you. That's my point.
Okay, thank you, Fember, and also thank you, Dea. Okay, we have also Devi here. Devi, do you want to add some points?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Pablo, for the opportunity. So I would like to add some points about the ozone question. So as far as I know, the making artificial ozone is not only it will require the vast amount of ozone to actually have a measurable influence on the concentration, it will also be very hard to know what will happen, because as far as I know, ozone is constantly formed and broken down in the atmosphere, and the actual ozone also content is the result of very many reaction and mechanism. So it is still unclear if that really influence the equilibrium in the ozone layers. And it is also not known in the increase in CO2 and CH4 will help to restore the ozone layer. And then my point is the solution is not to make the artificial ozone, but because the ozone layer is, as far as I know, is starting to recover naturally, although it is the slow process. But the key was for us, for humans, to stop damaging the ozone layer by reducing the use of the ozone depleting chemicals. I think that's my point. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Devi, for your answer. I hope that answer what Dimas asking. How about all the answer, Dimas?
Thank you. Actually, I got it.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, are there any question to all of the speakers? Or do you want to add some points, guys? Okay, Arash.
No, I just wanted to point like
okay.
No, like rephrase Fember, because I found her presentation, some of the points, all the presentations were good. You
Yes.
guys had like
Yes, please.
slides and all of this, but at one point of hers was the consumption. Something we have in common, Indonesia and Panama, is we are crazy about consuming. And in Indonesia, I think it's over 200 million people, I think, right? Or yeah, and here it's just like 5 million, but still a smaller country territory. So I guess something that social media has helped and hasn't is consumption. We get bombarded with ads, like buy the latest phone, the latest bag, all the latest. So I think for the young generation, it's kind of difficult not to be tempted to buy. But I guess it would come like try to we could like individually we could like try to promote this, recycling, reusing. There's no need to buy a new phone, the latest iPhone every year, or a bag. Like you can buy just one good bag to go to uni or to school and like use it until it breaks. So this type of cultural behavior, like adopting these measures, could help a lot. I learned these things unfortunately late, but like but yeah, like it comes from within. If we could try to influence or like the younger generations in our families, the people around us, just because at the end I guess they could get it. You don't need to have the latest thing to be cool. And that will help a lot. And then when it comes to food, it's and other resources, it's more difficult because we don't have control, but like we can have control about how we spend our resources, our money, and our footprint. That's my last point I wanted to make. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Aras. Raul, do you have some point to share?
Can you hear me?
Yes, clear.
Thank you. I think that we should not wait for older generation to pass away because the education is for everyone. Yes, it is very hard to try to educate everyone, but I think that the education have not age. We need not only, for example, to make the older generation to pass, we need to talk with them and combine younger and the experience of the older generation to have a better world. I think that if we combine the younger and the older generation, we can make a better world. Try to look for the experience of the older generations, try to look for the new ideas of the new generation. So I think that it is, for my opinion, it is not for wait for older generation to pass. Instead, to work together into a better world, because we live in the same planet and we need to like make idea from the olders and the news for make a better world to live. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Raul, for your points. The next one we have Eric has already raised his hand.
As my partner say, that the education is important to and have no age. It's important to know that we need to fight for free and global education for everyone. Every kind of person need to have the access to education, no matter their social class or their gender. It doesn't matter. The important is to have free access to education for all the persons in a connected world and in globalizing world. This is that the thing that we have to fight.
Okay, Eric, thank you very much. Aras, do you want to also add a conclusion? Maybe
No, I left my hand up again, but like just to add, like I don't want anyone to die. It's just you know, like it's easier to like for younger people to get it, you know, to get used to new ideas because it's new. You know, it's like when you are used to something, it's more difficult. But yeah, like education is a key point there, and people can change. You're surprising, but it's good. Yeah, education, mainly education and self-awareness, and make just those around you aware, and try to consume less. And hopefully we get to a economic system where businesses grow and make money, but also we don't damage the planet in the process. So pretty much that. And I don't speak anymore. But thanks.
Okay, thank you very much, Aras. Are there any question, or I think this is the last one? No? So if there are no questions left, I think we come to the conclusion. I think after a very interesting discussion, let us come to a brief conclusion. I have no conclusion because I think all of your presentation, all of your opinions are very kind and intelligent, and you are all cool students from Panama, Indonesia, who will be one day as a future leaders who will build a better world together. And I think what we can conclude to this discussion is how we can work hand in hand, and also not about talking in this forum, but also how we can act concretely together one by one. Okay, I think that's all of your participation. I say thank you very much for every single speakers, and also who participate in the question and answer session. So before I close the discussion session, let us take a group photos, because we have almost reached 100 participants, and I think the host of the Zoom, Ibu Yolanda, will help me to take our print screen. Yes. Okay, Bu Yolanda, are you there?
Yeah, sure. Please open your camera, guys.
Okay.
So we can see your face. Wait.
Okay, are we ready, Bu Yolanda?
Ready, guys? Oh, wait a minute. This is for the first page. So everyone smile. Wait, there's some technical issue. 1, 2, smile guys. Wait, there's some technical problem in my laptop. Maybe it's Mary. Can you help me to take the picture for all of the participants?
Mary?
Hello, it's Mary.
Yes, I'm having the same problem. I don't know why.
Okay, I will take a picture. Yolanda, from house.
What happened?
Raul, could you do us the favor to take the picture?
Maybe
Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, thank you.
And then we have 19 participants. Maybe we have to take all of the picture. Can you do like the first page and the second until fourth page, because we have 4 pages at all.
The second one too, right?
Thank you, Raul.
Okay, no problem. I'm with the second one. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you. I finished.
Okay, thank you, Bu
Thank you
Yolanda.
so much, Raul.
And thank you, Raul. What a
Raul
kind
and
of you.
Eric for took the picture.
No worries, thank you.
Okay, I think that's all. I forgive me if there are any mistakes while I moderating this forum. And see you next time. And good afternoon. Good
There
evening.
is some
I wish
Provo.
I wish you always this in healthy condition. Thank you very much. I
Mr.
will give
Provo?
back this to MC.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Mary.
Now, before closing words, Ms. Yolanda will say a few words as a replacement of Mr. Ambassador. And now, Ms. Yolanda, you have the floor.
Thank you. It's Mari in the name of Ambassador Indonesia in Panama. Thank you so much for all speakers, moderator, MC, and participants who participate in this forum. We hope in this forum, we not only had fruitful discussion, but also we have some recommendation and idea that can be implemented by the people and government, both of the country, Indonesia and Panama. And I saw like a lot of brilliant students and youth from both country, Indonesia and Panama. So I can see bright future for Indonesia and Panama. And we hope this is not our last meeting, and we hope to see you in another occasion. And it is a good idea to formalize this forum being, the permanent forum. For example, in this year, the Indonesian Embassy chair this forum. Maybe in the next year, maybe CRUA will chair this forum, and the next year, Universitas Airlangga will chair the forum, and then in the 2 years, maybe like Universitas Esa Unggul will also chair the forum, so it can be run regularly around this year. And hopefully it can be strengthened the relation between people to people, both country, Indonesia and Panama. So see you in another occasion, and I hope to see you again in our event. And yeah, sampai jumpa. See you soon. Hasta luego.
Thank you so much for your words, Ms. Yolanda. Now, Professor Solis, you have the floor.
Terima kasih. Good evening there, beautiful people from Indonesia. This is a great opportunity for all of us because this kind of conversation is really wonderful because we exchange ideas and also we exchange how to promote environmental issues, right? I like it I will take the word from Devi Ekazari. She mentioned coffee diplomacy. Perhaps this is the way how we can call this kind of meeting. You see, coffee diplomacy, so we can talk. In this case, environmental matters. This is wonderful also, for example, in the case of, on the side of Panamanian, Raul and Eric, they developed, they show how environmental laws apply here. I mean, at the beginning, of course, he mentioned authority of environmental issues in Panama, okay? But now this is a ministry. It's a ministry because at that time it was like a wonderful topic to become the greater idea to better promote the policy on environment. Now it's a ministry. And now we have the Escazú Agreement. Escazú Agreement is something Indonesia could very well observe in order to promote Indonesia's position as a champion within ASEAN. So Escazú Agreement is a very wonderful way to promote local participation. We have local participation. We have the laws. We have the rules. However, people don't know about it. Okay, that's why we need a better educated youth, so younger generation could not just be educated and educate themselves, but they will educate their parents. They will educate all public, because education is for all. So don't let all people pass away until they get very well educated, okay? Education is for all of us at the same time together. And remember one very wonderful phrase written by your famous author, Harata. He said in his Rainbow Troops, something very wonderful, like stupidity is contagious. However, intelligence is also contagious. So with this phrase, I really want to finish this participation of mine here as a way to celebrate this conversation, these dialogues, and we hope to get this kind of events very soon and more often. Thank you, Sukmo Harsomo, Indonesian Embassy, all the staff for this great opportunity.
Thank you, Professor Solis. Can I add more? So I think it is very great forum today that we have very fruitful discussion and also brilliant students. So I think that it will be good idea that we can continue this talk and this forum into, the different perspective and different topic between Indonesia and Panama. So we not only talk about environment, we can talk about everything. For example, for the education, laws, and then, for example, for tourism, all of the topics. So we can change the perspective between, because I think like in Indonesia, the perspective from Latin America, is very rare because, we don't have, enough idea to talk about Latin America. And it's vice versa. What happened in Latin America? Maybe you don't have any, any idea about Asia Pacific. So it is a good idea to exchange everything between people to share about different issues. So we can not only, strengthen the relation, but also we can connect people to people connection between two countries. So and maybe, for example, like the next year, maybe like this kind of forum can be chaired by Universitas Airlangga, and the next year, like 2 years later, CRUA will be participated as the chair, and then maybe like 3rd year later, maybe like Universitas Esa Unggul, and also another universidad can also participate in this forum as a chair. So we can talk continuously about everything in this forum between student and youth Panama and Indonesia.
Sure. It is our pleasure. and nice to meet you, Prof. Solis. I hope we can see each other, both in Indonesia or in Panama. Universitas Airlangga would be very grateful if there are any collaboration in the future. You
Sure.
you can also test spicy food in Surabaya.
Sure. So where can we start to make a friend between us? So I tag you guys in this, in Instagram, so you can know each other. So yeah, we can start making friends through this forum.
Yeah, there is a comment that is from Miss Sulimaida Serrano that she wants to share. Please, Suli, you have the floor now.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
It's clear.
Yes. Okay, I would like to talk a little bit about my testimony about the FBICC program that I took months ago. And halo, nama saya Sulimaira Serrano. Saya tinggal di Kota Bocas del Toro. Hello, my name is...
Here, can you show your face so we can see your beautiful
yes,
face?
Sure. Excuse me.
That's good.
Okay. Okay. Halo, nama saya Sulimaira Serrano. Saya tinggal di Kota Bocas del Toro. Hello, my name is Sulimaira Serrano and I live in the city of Bocas del Toro. And I would like to talk a little bit about my FBICC experience. In matter of my experience, let me look it here. I have a problem with my computer. Give me a minute. Okay, in matter of my experience, from the first day I started learning, as for example, what I just did, how to introduce myself in Bahasa Indonesia. I also spell my name in Indonesia alphabet, S-U-L-Y-M-A-I-R-A, Sulimaira. It was so much fun in each class. We had different activities, teamwork in the breakout rooms with our classmates from around the world. I like it the fact that the program was designed not only to teach you the theory, but also shows you this history, examples, and experiences through some videos presented in class. And with this, I want to tell you about my favorite part during the course. And yes, I'm referring to the virtual city tour in Surabaya. It was something that exceeded my expectation because I really felt immersed in the culture. I felt that I was the one jalan-jalan di sekitar Pasar Pabean, walking around the traditional market. I felt that I was the one mengambil foto di sekitar kota, taking photos around the city. It was a really great experience. My plan with Bahasa Indonesia in the future. I first signed it up for the course because I like to learn languages of my interest. And since I have Bali on my travel bucket list, it catch my attention even more. But now that I have completed the course, it's not the only place I went to visit. There is Java, Ubud, Batam, Manado, and of course, Surabaya. That's to mention a few. Here in Bocas del Toro, whose capital is Asin Island, I strive for each tourist to take home a local experience, try local food, to get to know the island like a local does, moving around by bicycle, that Caribbean vibe, And above all, I encourage them to practice Spanish throughout their stay. That's the same experience I'm looking for when visiting Indonesia, and learning Bahasa Indonesia will give me the opportunity to live something like that. I want to be able to communicate with the locals in their own language, listen to the story of their hometown, taste homemade local food, and not having a brief experience like most local does. That's a very personal and special experience for me to connect with the people in each place I visit. Finally, I would like to give thanks to Indonesian Embassy here in Panama for promoting quality programs like this one, and invite you guys to enroll in this different course to continue learning about the beautiful culture of Indonesia. Terima kasih banyak. Thank you very much.
Terima kasih, Maira.
Terima kasih, Bahasa Indonesia.
Sama-sama.
I hope that you can visit Surabaya and maybe Probo, Dea, and Devi can accompany you to tour around the city.
My pleasure. Please, you can visit Surabaya.
Okay, now
I invite you all so you can come to Panama too.
Yes. So anyone want to say some word? So yeah, we still have a little bit time. So yeah, if anyone still wants to say some word, maybe
Arash sent a message that he has to jump now, but it was a pleasure to participate in this forum, having with a lot of ideas, hopefully can implement it. Sampai jumpa, guys. That is
Thank you, Ara.
his
Thank
message.
you. Sampai jumpa. Hasta luego. So I think nobody wants to say a word.
Can I say something then?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, I really want to thank of this opportunity, I guess. As a final year student, it really honor for me to be able to participate this kind of activities. You know, I'm able to you know, I'm about to pursue a master, and this opportunity could be something on my CV, right? It's like something big thing. So yeah, it's very pleasure to me for me to see a different views of what's the theme that we're going to talk about from a different perspective. Even the different youth, even we're a youth, we have a different perspective, and that's really awesome to me. As yeah, it's a really big opportunity, and I will say thank you very much, and I hope to see you guys in the future, maybe.
You, Bila. Hope you will graduate soon and pursue your master degree well. See you soon in another
Thank you so much.
Pember, you have the floor now.
I must say a few words. First, I want to apologize for passing few minutes. I feel guilty, real guilty, because yeah, I thought it's for the first time. Yeah, because for the first time I thought that I have 7 minutes maximum, so I want to use it all 7 minutes. And then second one, I want to really thank you, and I'm so grateful that I can be here. I can having me for. Thanks Kak Yolanda for inviting me, because if Kak Nabila is the final year student, I'm the beginning. I'm just new college student, so forgive me for all my mistakes, and I hope this discussion have the sustainability. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Fember. You're already amazing. So no need to apologize. And I hope that you will be success with your following studies, and also, yeah, because you already give the concrete action to do how to save the environment. It is a good example for us to follow your step. Thank you so much for being speaker for us. See you soon in another event and occasion. Thank you so much.
Is there any other comment?
I want to give a comment.
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me to join this forum, and I'm very happy to see participants from Indonesia and Panama. I learned so much about culture or environmental crisis in this forum. This forum can improve skill and friendship between countries, and because this time many people do not notice culture with this event. Hopefully there will be more event in this forum to introduce more culture, tourism about Indonesia and Panama. That's all from me, and thank you.
Thank you, Sarah, for your words. And I want to see you when we have an event.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Good luck with your study and your future.
Thank you. Is there any other comment in the floor? Okay, if not, if Mr. Provo is here.
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay, now you have the floor to close in this forum.
Maybe you want to say something regarding
No,
this
I want to say my gratitude to all of the students who participate on this forum.
you are very excellent students, and I think all of the students have a very great example in all of the surroundings to implement their ideas that shared in this forum. So I think that would be very interesting if there are any of follow-up agendas regarding to the forum today. Maybe next time Bu Yolanda can take us to plant mangrove trees together, or maybe done some activities regarding to the cultural exchange. It's Mary will be playing gamelan for for 3 minutes. Do you know gamelan? Traditional music instrument from Indonesia. I think that's my my short of hope. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Probo. I hope we can continue to do this some kind of act together between two countries, so we can implement it like something more real to connect people to people between Panama and Indonesia. Thank you so much for your having us in this event. So you are very amazing moderator for this event. Thank you so much.
Okay, now we are going to proceed to the closing forum. So thank you everybody for being here in this forum, and thank you for your amazing opinions and presentations. Thank you all, and hope to see you in following events. Thank you.
Thank you so much. See you. Bye. Hasta luego.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias.
Bye. See you soon. Muchas gracias. Terima kasih, matur nuwun.
Thank you.
Good luck all. Stay healthy and safe.
Thank you. See you.
Bye.